people, Rasati out here in Singapore, and thank you so much for joining me here on the Night Owl podcast. I really do appreciate all of you. I appreciate the platform. I appreciate the fact that I have social media and the ability to record everything from my phone so I could just, pick out a space that's kind of quiet and sit down with my thoughts and explain what it is that I'm seeing or doing or feeling or thinking. And it's been quite the adventure so far, and I've been enjoying it of late. And as always, I'm taken by quotes, by things people said, by things expressed by writers and lyricists and music and directors, and it's just been uh, quite the experience. I didn't realize how much quotes would have an impact on my life. And I mean, I've been collecting quotes since I was a kid. It's something that I've always done. I remember going through lit classes and writing down poems that I really, really adored, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and pieces or verses from Shakespeare to Byron Shelley and Keats. I love the way things are said. I love the way ideas are expressed, and it's no different with this podcast. It's no different with my daily dose videos. I've just been really enjoying myself, and it's beautiful because it's something I've always loved. I don't have to reach for this. This is something that catches my eye, and I share it with the world, and it's done with, and I try it again the next day or whenever the mood strikes me. And today I want to talk to you about a quote that I came across that happens to be by John Lennon, and it's not one that I've heard very often. So this one says, "I believe in everything until it's disproved." So I believe in fairies, the myths, the dragons, it all exists, even if it's in your mind. So who's to say that dreams and nightmares aren't as real as the here and now? And I love that. I really do love that, because it gives me permission to believe in all those things too. Sometimes you think, okay, you put away childish things when you're no longer a child, but I don't want to. I want to continue believing that there is magic in the world around us, and I want to continue believing that, butterflies could actually be fairies, and that there's magic in the wind, and the trees speak to me, and the water gives me signs, and I want to believe all those things because they make me feel comfortable. They make me feel safe and supported. They make me feel not so alone. When people look for signs and they say, hey, I saw a coin, or I saw a feather, maybe they saw butterflies or a specific color that made them feel better, or they ended up in the sunshine and the sun's beams on their shoulders just made them feel safe. Like, all of that stuff is magical to me, and I want to believe. I think it helps us to a degree to cope with reality, to believe that there are some beautiful things out there that really do exist. And he's right, actually, when he says that who's to say that dreams and nightmares aren't as real as the here and now, because let's face it, how many times have you had a dream that was terrifying and you wake up exhausted because you were running in the dream and your body really believed you were running? You wake up in a cold sweat. You wake up panting because you were physically alive and kicking in your dreams. It felt real. So why wouldn't we assume that that was real? That was a parallel universe or a parallel timeline. I don't know what you want to call it, but multiverse, all of that. Why wouldn't that exist? Why couldn't that exist? If it makes you feel safe, doesn't it exist? Let's think about this for a moment. If I believe that there are monsters in my closet, guess what? In my world, there are monsters in my closet because my fight or flight response is such that it is as real as imminent danger. I feel scared, and so all of those feelings manifest somewhere in my body. I actually feel it. I actually get scared. My body responds as if it's physical pain. People have talked about this for years. Emotional damage is real because the amount of pain your body goes through is as if you've been gut punched. It's as if you've been in shock for a while. All of that takes hold in your body. What you think actually happens in your body. You are able to make yourself sick if you don't feel good about going to work. I've brought on migraines before. I have induced stomach problems before. I may be the healthiest person on the planet, but if I'm not happy and my body is reacting to my thoughts and my feelings, I will give myself diarrhea or heartburn or whatever the case may be. I can think my way into hyperventilating. It's possible. So when he talks about, I believe in all those things, and these things, dream or nightmare, could be real. They could be in the here and now. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Honestly, I believe people believe what they need to believe. When we were children, we needed to believe that there was a heaven and a hell, maybe. I don't know if we needed, but we were told, and so we believed it, and all of our actions and reactions reflected those beliefs. And as we got older, realized, okay, it's maybe not quite heaven and hell. It may be a little bit of gray area in between there, and I'm not sure what to call that, but that makes me feel a little bit safer because now I'm not so stressed out about what's going to get me into heaven and what's going to send me to hell. And maybe along the way it evolved again and you realize, you know what? It may not be as straight a path as going to school, getting a degree, getting a job, getting married, getting a house, having children, and then that's the path to success. It may be a little bit more convoluted than that. But the point is, what you believe at the time shapes your reality and keeps you safe. And then when you're ready and you realize that maybe you've outgrown the original reality, you adjust and you keep on going. For me, there was a time where I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe that there could be a God and allow for so many disastrous things to happen. And then I realized all of us are interconnected. And yes, disastrous things happen. And yes, there's probably a hand in karma. And eventually, we learn what we need to learn. And it wasn't the most fun place to be in. I was very pessimistic. I was very much an asshole at that time because I wasn't about to let anyone around me be happy either because I was suffering so much. So anybody who had a better hand than I was dealt, I would not spit in their face, so to speak, but I would definitely inform them of all the things that could go wrong because right now they have it good. But it's never going to last because, in my opinion, to date, in my experience, it had never lasted. It always goes awry. I always, missing a shoe, rug pulled out from under me. Yeah, it always ends up in disaster somehow. And so for a while I didn't believe until I realized that there was nothing to look forward to. With no prospect of magic, my world had become kind of bleak and dark, and the despair was overwhelming, and I couldn't find a way out of it until I realized I'm looking at all of the things that make me upset. What if I looked for things that made me happy? And if rainbows make me happy, I'm going to go search for rainbows. And if four-leaf clovers make me happy, tell me you haven't gone looking for a four-leaf clover, then I'm going to go look for that. And if I want to see magic in the simplest of things, the mundane, why not? Because it gives me a moment of joy. It gives me a moment of feeling connected. Maybe it's my crown chakra activated because now I feel like I'm one with everything, that the world exists to support me just as I am here to serve the world. And that was enough for me. My world started changing. The things I saw started changing. The things I felt changed because of what I chose to believe. There was a time where I thought that it would be the end of the world if I was a single mother, because that would be shame on my family, shame on me. It would mean that I failed at marriage, that I was not worthy, that I was now damaged goods. And you know what? That hurt my feelings. And it was something I chose to believe. Why would I choose to believe something that hurt me on purpose? And eventually I realized, you know what am I really afraid of though? What's the worst that could happen if I was a single mom? Yes, I grew up in a single mom-ish type of family. My mom and dad are still married, but my mom was the one who raised us. My dad was overseas a lot. And we didn't turn out so bad. I would have loved to have had a relationship with my father. I would love to have had a male role model that I could look up to so I could stop looking for love in all the wrong places now. But I didn't turn out that bad. And while I feel badly for taking that advantage away from my daughter, I did take her out of a situation where she would have learned that fighting was a norm and talking down to the people you love was okay. And when you're upset with your life in general, that it's all right to take it out on the people around you because you can't control your own damn life. And I did not want her to see that. I did not want her to look at me as the example for the rest of her life and hope to God that she, gets lucky and finds love. I wanted to know what love is from the beginning so she can know what love isn't if she ever crosses that path, and leave it alone. So for me, I choose to believe. I choose to believe that there is magic in the world, and I choose to believe that people are good at heart, and I choose to believe that people are capable of change because that gives me hope. That makes me feel safe. I choose to believe that life could be so much better with people to share it with. because then I can laugh with someone about something I thought was funny or something I thought was touching. I could discuss things with people. And maybe I don't have one person that I share all of that with, but I have a group of people that I can share various aspects of my life with, and that's good enough for now. I'm going to choose to believe until it is disproven, just like John Lennon suggested, mostly because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel better. I'm going to choose to believe that all the religions pretty much say the same thing. It's just our human interpretations are different. Maybe the strategy to get to that one truth is different from mine and different from theirs, but it's still a strategy, and it still involves loving everybody and accepting everybody and giving everybody the benefit of the doubt and showing compassion and showing kindness and being gracious, all of those things. Swamiji said the truth is one, the paths are many. And until I met him and really understood what he talked about, I was under the impression that if I wasn't Hindu and devout at that, I was going to create karma for myself. And when I met my Christian friends and they took me to church with them, I started getting terrified at the prospect of heaven and hell. Like, if I didn't accept Jesus into my heart, I would go to hell. But I wasn't born into Christianity. I was born into another religion, and who you call Jesus, I may call by a different name, but the entity is the same, and the teachings they stood for is the same, and how is it possible that you can condemn me for not doing what you do? And that scared the hell out of me, and it caused a lot of chaos in my life until I realized the truth is one, the paths are many. And to be ecumenical is to accept everyone's way of doing things without chastising one or the other or choosing that one is better than the other, and allowing people to be as they are. You believe what you believe, please, by all means. As long as you're not hurting anybody and you're not hurting yourself, just be happy. Don't convert me. Don't convince me that I'm bad for not doing what you do. And I will do the same for you. And we can live and let live, and we will all be happy. So for me, realizing that I could choose my beliefs and choosing to believe something until it's disproved beyond the shadow of a doubt makes me happy, makes me feel safe, makes me feel like I have my place in the world. And even if it wasn't a place that I was given, I created space for myself. And here I am, safe, happy, and not really hurting anybody, you guys. So I wonder what you think about that quote. Do you think you could believe in beautiful things, even if they aren't proven by science or proven by religion or whatever? If they can't be seen by the naked eye, would you still believe in it? I mean, let's talk about this. We really do believe in love, don't we? So, would you continue to believe even if the world told you it was wrong, just because it made you feel better? I hope you do. I hope this gives you the permission to do that. Because life is different when you have hope, and life is different when you get to choose what your beliefs are. So I want to hear what your beliefs are. Let me know in the comments. And until then, do find the courage. Life is really different. I love you guys. I'll catch you later. Bye.